In my many years in the House and in the Senate, and I'm very pained to say this as chairman of this committee, I have never seen such disregard and disrespect by an agency head for Congress and for the committee with the responsibility for oversight of his agency. I've never seen anything like it. The mission of the EPA is to protect human health and the environment. The administrator's decision does neither. The people who pay the administrator's salary have a right to know how he came to a decision that is so far removed from the facts, the law, the science, the precedent, states' rights.
Number one, yes or no would be fine. Do you believe that global warming is a major crisis facing our planet?
As I said, I believe that it is a serious problem.
Is it a major crisis?
I don't know what you mean by major crisis.
Well, the usual definition of the term major crisis would be fine.
Under the law, under Section 209, of which I am to judge. But that's what
All right, let me ask you another question. Do you agree that bold action is needed to reverse global warming?
I believe that action needs to be taken to reverse global warming, both here in the United States and around the world.
Bold action was the word I used.
As I said, action.
Action, okay. Just as a human being. Just as a human being.
Well, as administrator, I consider myself to be a human being, but I also, sir, agree that those are serious issues.
I think, frankly, your response tells us why the entire world is wondering what is happening in the United States on this issue.
No. Let me just add to that, in that a very important step.
Yeah, I'd like to get to some questions, so I don't want you to slow walk me through this by going into the minutiae of administrative procedure, if you don't mind.
As I recall, there was a series of
it's a yes or no question.
I don't recall. I thought I just answered the question by saying that I receive a wide range of briefings and option selection. Sometimes there's
a different thing. That's the options analysis.
Sometimes there's a consolidated recommendation. Sometimes there's not.
You're telling me two things. You're saying that you just agreed with me, and by the way, you are under oath.
You are under oath.
Now you're saying, well, maybe sometimes, maybe not. You can't have it both ways.
Let me correct the record so that it's clear. Again, there sometimes those consolidated recommendations are, here is our recommendation.
What's the difference?
And, well, sometimes it's a range, sometimes it's one or whatever.
So the options analysis and the consolidated recommendation are the same thing now? We've just been through how they're separate steps. Now you're saying that they're the same thing?
You seem, from my perspective, to be confused.
It's a serious matter. And so I hope you'll give me a real answer to it and not just lots of, gobbledygook about administrative law, which I'm pretty familiar with. I have a specific question.
EPA has failed to fully respond to our request for information. We asked for the documents. This is the tape that was put over. This administration, this is what they did to us. They put this white tape over the documents, and staff had to stand here. It's just unbelievable. I mean, what a waste of our time. This isn't national security. This isn't classified information, colleagues. We've been treated in a very shabby way.
Was it a coincidence that you happened to make a decision at 6:30 p.m. right after the president signed the energy bill? Seems to be rather strange time.
Well, let me explain why. I wasn't the person who leaked the information and
No. Please,
flurry of
sir, I am asking you a question.
Again, I acknowledge that this situation was unique. It was unique in that
And you are saying that it's a coincidence.
As I said, I've already described the circumstances. We'll be happy to.
But you didn't answer my question.
As I said.
You didn't say, sir. You keep saying, as you said, you didn't say. I'm asking you a simple question. Was it related? Was it not?
Well, as I tried to say.
This is not the way we should run, the greatest government in the world. It does not befit us.
Thank you.
I find this unbelievable on behalf of what is called an environmental protection agency, not an administration protection agency. There's a finding of the United States Supreme Court telling you to do something.
I'm taking time, I think,
appropriate. I know people are anxious for me to get on with business. I'm carefully considering Mass versus EPA, the issue of endangerment, number of pending petitions, airline, off-road, marine, stationary sources, NSPS, PSD. I can go on and on.
How many personnel right now are working on the endangerment finding?
I don't know specifically at this time how many people are or not working on specific pieces of our
Well, we've
work.
been told no one is working on it currently.
I know that we are working
Is
with...
anyone working on this at the present time, Mr. Johnson?
Well, we are, I know I am working on...
How many members of your staff are currently working on this?
I don't know the answer to that. I know I have staff that are working on a myriad of issues. We have a lot of activities that our staff are working on.
Give me a number. You're stonewalling. And I want the
Madam
record
Chairman,
to reflect
I am not stonewalling.
Okay.
Opinions that were provided to me that are part of the record.
It's
as I said,
a little frustrating.
Well, it shouldn't be frustrating because there's a 50-page document describing my decision. And as I said, I have routine conversations with the President as well as members of the executive branch. And I believe that those...
Let me get the record straight.
Mr. Chairman, can we have regular order?
The chairman's pursuing regular order.
I don't recall making that comment myself.
Do you recall making a comment that you've had a conversation with the President on any of these three rules that we've been looking at?
As I said, what I do recall, and I believe is an accurate reflection of what I have said, is that I have routine conversations with members of the executive branch, including the President, on a wide range of issues.
The answer is not acceptable. Say, I've had conversations with the President and others on a routine basis.
As I said, I have routine conversations on a wide range of topics.
In those routine conversations, did you talk about
on a wide range of topics?
Mr. Chairman, I must insist that we go to regular order.
Gentleman is not in order at this time.
Mr. Chairman,
did you have a conversation?
Mr. Chairman, the rules of the House.
Mr. Chairman,
the rules of the House call for an alternating 5 minutes.
The gentleman will cease.
On what time does the chairman speak?
The gentleman will cease.
Point of order, members that could yield you time. I would ask that you...
I will have you physically removed from this meeting if you don't stop. I want to know an answer to the question. Did you have a discussion with the President on any one of these three rules?
Mr. Chairman, as I said, I have routine conversations with the President and the executive branch on many matters before the agency of particular importance.